But when it came time to pay the bill, she made her move. Straight out the back door.
It's become somewhat of a social media trend that restaurants will post videos of people dining and dashing and asking for the public's help in identifying them. Pretty pathetic that it's come to this, but this should be the least surprising development you've heard from Clown World. An establishment called The Diner in Orlando hit at the right time with their video and went viral. Watch as they all take turns leaving until only one remains. The one who will pay the check? A normal waitress might think so, but that faith in humanity is the fatal flaw this group seeks to exploit. After the video hit the big time, the tips came in, including a call from someone who claimed to own a restaurant that had also been hit by the guy.
The manager's not available right now. If I could take a name and number down.
Listen, there's a guy who walked out of the restaurant with $300 worth of food, right?
Uh-huh.
It's all on Facebook. It's
Okay.
Nephew Tay. He been doing that down here for 3 years. I own a restaurant. I own Golden Gate.
I am so glad that these people are getting put on blast, that these people are being exposed, because you have to be a particularly type of piece of shit to steal from a local business within your community. Now, I know a lot of people will say and try to justify stealing from large corporations because they make profits and all this stuff. And I don't necessarily agree with that either. Um, but when you steal from a mom and pop shop, from a local business, I think you're just overall a worse type of piece of shit than somebody who maybe steal from a large corporation, even though I don't agree with either of them, right? And this is because you're taking away from the mouths of people who have families to feed. You're taking away from the livelihood of others. Whatever waitress was serving that table will most likely have to pay that back because they're probably going to blame it on her. And if they don't have to pay it back, then the business takes the hit. But also then that waitress now made no tip on that table that they had to serve, right? They had to work for. So there's a lot of things in play here that I think make this way worse than stealing, for example, from a corporation, even though I think that both of them are inherently bad things. And this also affects the customer, because guess what? Now, as people, what's going to happen? The restaurant might have to raise prices if people are doing this on the regular, right? And if they don't raise prices, then they're going to have to start pre-charging. And again, if you're pre-charged, you might not even want to leave a tip for your waitress. Again, and then the waitresses or waiters, they get penalized because you have people within your community who are doing this. I'm glad that other black people are calling this shit out, because oftentimes, I'm not saying white people don't do it, but a lot of the times that we see this is black people doing this shit. It's black people. Black people already have a problem with tipping. They already tip the least amount out of any other group. And then now it's become, like they said, a social media trend to go into restaurants and start stealing, start dining and dashing. Well, that's not the social media trend. The social media trend is them posting the videos, but it's become sort of a trend for black people to do it. And so I'm glad that the guy who's calling, who owns a restaurant, sounds like he's black. I could be wrong, but he sounds black to me, and he's calling this bullshit out. And this is what I think that more black people need to do. Even if you don't own a restaurant and you know what's going on and you're black, you should be calling this out, because this affects you and the businesses within your community. You guys always talk about supporting black businesses, supporting all this, supporting all that. But then you actually, when it comes down to supporting them, you have to support them. Even when it comes down to having a quote unquote snitch, and I wouldn't consider that snitching, but having to tell on somebody for fucking going in there and stealing some fucking food. Because if you don't have the money to eat out, just don't go out and eat. I'm not those types that say, oh, if you don't have the money to tip, then don't go out to eat. No, because a tip is that it's voluntary, and I tip very well. I'm not saying that you shouldn't tip, but a tip is a voluntary thing. What I'm saying is, if you don't have the money to eat at all, you shouldn't go out to eat, because nobody should be feeding you for free.
We got to take this guy off. We got to take this guy off the streets.
after the big fella and the lady he was with were seemingly identified. Keith Kidd, remaining defiant, taunted the restaurant, posting, "Quit calling! Yes, I see the video. Yes, I want more shrimp and grits." I went to look for this Keith Kidd on Facebook, but his profile's been deleted. There is some evidence this is legit, though. Follow me for a second. Shanae Kidd, who identifies herself as his older sister, wishes him a happy Father's Day. Shanae posted in 2023 congratulating Keith and his wife on their second anniversary. Click Tasia Kidd today and she's now listed as single with a name change. So this would seem to be his ex-wife. Ex-wife Tasia posted, "I'm just saying though, I would have sent the money for my baby's bill. Got my baby walking out on a bill on camera. Some bum-ass shit, man."
That's the worst part of this whole thing, that they're doing this with kids. So they're teaching their kids to be pieces of shit from a very early age. This is why a lot of the kids in the black community don't even have a chance at adulthood. They don't even have a chance at life because their parents don't even attempt to give them a chance at life. You do this with your kids, they're going to think this is normal and they're going to grow up and they're going to do it. And one day they may have kids and then they're going to do it. And then you'll have them wondering why their kids are in jail or end up in jail, because if they think that dining and dashing is normal, they're going to think that other crimes are just as okay too. And it starts with one little thing, and the more you get away with, the more you're going to try to do other shit. This is absolutely insane. Those kids don't even have a chance at life. They're still children. And this is what you're telling them. You're teaching them that it's okay to steal from honest people. And it won't stop at stealing. Then it's stealing. Then it goes on to committing worse crimes. And next thing you know, they're in jail and the parents are screaming they didn't do nothing. My baby was a saint. They didn't do nothing. Meanwhile, the signs were all there, and the reason they got to that point was because you enabled it from a very young age.
Underneath that comment, "I just knew when you seen it, you was gon' be pissed." Tasia responds, "Got my family in Texas sending me this shit. Hell yeah, I'm mad. I'm pissed, actually." The online evidence would seem pretty damning against Mr. Kidd. So now it's up to the restaurant to go after him with everything they've got. And they must set an example, because it's this very restaurant that's still looking for these other dine and dashers.
Look at another piece of shit. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not saying that white people don't do it or other groups of people don't do it. We have the prime example here, but most of the time it's black people. Again, I just hope these people get caught. And I really feel bad for the kids over anyone else, because the kids are the ones who are going to suffer. Let's say that father goes to jail for stealing. They're the ones who are going to grow up without a kid, right? And I mean, it doesn't do them any good to have the father around anyways, because the father's teaching them that stealing is okay. And if stealing is okay, their shot at life is fucked up. They don't even have a chance at life. And then they'll become part of the system, and people will wonder one day where it all went wrong. And it started with the parents right there. But listen, guys, this is all I have for this video. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. And if you like what I do and you want to support my work, I have links in the description box below. You can buy me a coffee or send me a Cash App. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.